You're watching live coverage of the George Zimmerman murder trial. They are in a lunch break right now, but if you've been watching, she's the state's most important witness at this point. She's been back on the stand. We're talking about Rachel Jeantel. She's the last one to talk to Trayvon Martin. She was on the phone with him just before he was shot and killed. And there's been so many questions about whether she can help prove that George Zimmerman attacked Trayvon Martin, or actually if her testimony is helping the defense. Are a lot of you asking, who is Rachel? Tell us more about her. Here's what we know. She's 19 years old. She's a senior at Norland Senior High School in Miami. She was born and raised in Miami. Her mom is from Haiti. Her dad from the Dominican Republic. She lives with her mom. For her job, she wrote on her Facebook page, quote, "My mama and daddy do all the work. I just spend it." She also deleted her Twitter account just hours before she took the witness stand. Interesting. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, Jean Casares joining us now. She's been following all this as well. I'll tell you what, it's been a pretty fascinating morning into the afternoon so far, Jean.
You know, if I told you how many pages of notes I have a lot of notes. And I'll tell you, the jury is focused. There is one, Kira, I've got to tell you, there is one juror. She's a female juror. She's sitting on the top row now, but she's one of the 6. She is taking copious notes. She is watching demeanor. She is everything you would want a jury to be. She even said today at one point she couldn't hear the testimony. She said, "Excuse me, I couldn't hear the answer." So the court reporter had to read it back to her. And as far as the testimony today, it is really all over the place, but the defense is trying to show not only the inconsistencies that this witness had, but the motivations for her to say and not say what she said or didn't say in a letter to Sabrina Fulton, to the interview with Benjamin Crump, and to the April 2nd first statement she gave to the state attorney's office under oath.
Okay, so Jean, when they come back from lunch break, are they done with her? Are we going to see a new witness, or are they bringing her back for more?
Oh, no, I think there's more. I definitely think there's more. Remember, there'll be redirect.
Okay, so what
we
more?
Not talk about anywhere near done.
So what do you think redirect has to do?
Well, I think redirect has to just focus the jury on what's the most important part of her story. And the most important part of her story is the conversation she had with Trayvon before he encountered George Zimmerman. All the rest, all the other things, where he was, the location, these dioramas that they're bringing out, are less important than that last conversation.
You know what? Also, let me ask Darren about this. Before Rachel deleted her Twitter account, she talked about getting high, drinking, driving, the stress this case has caused her. I mean, can the defense use those words against her?
Well, social media in the context of litigation is an enormous issue. As long as you can lay the foundation for stuff, all of it can come into court, and it can be incredibly damaging. But I just want to know from Jean Casares, are the notes that she took in cursive? Because that seems to be a lost art. That was really a moment in this case, and I say that jokingly.
It was kind of heartbreaking, actually.
It really is.
19-year-old girl, senior in high school, and can't read cursive. I mean, that, woo.
Yeah. It was really heartbreaking. She's 19. We hear she's in high school. That's what we heard in open court on the record. So that is curious, too, right there. It appeared she could read the written transcript, and I think she wanted to show that court today she could read, because she asked, "Let me read it," at one point, and that wasn't cursive. That was typewritten transcript.
And I don't see this as much as a race issue. I mean, we talk a lot about parenting issues here, right? This is a parenting issue. This isn't about the color of her skin. This is, where is the education system? How is this happening?
But I think so much of this is a racial issue. And I think one of the most critical parts of her testimony earlier was when he said, is it a racial issue that this guy was following Trayvon? Of course that is. If you're a young black man who's been followed in a grocery store a ton of times, you would probably view that as racial, even if jurors might not.
Take it back into the courtroom right after this.
The untold story of Anna Nicole Smith in a revealing new movie.